Good morning, guys. It's Donald and Mary, and we're here to bring you your morning weather, water, and trail chatter report. And so this morning we're going to start with some water and weather, and then after we'll move to some trail chatter. All right, Mary, go ahead and take it away, my friend.
Thank you, Donald.
You're welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Right now in Blairsville, it's 36 degrees and clear. We are going to have a high of 71 degrees with abundant sunshine and 5 to 10 mile per hour winds today. And then tonight, 40 degrees and clear skies. Winds will be light and variable. Up on Blood Mountain today, a high of 61, dropping to 55 later on this afternoon. And then we'll have sunshine and 5 to 10 mile per hour winds with gusts up to 20. And then tonight, 45 and mostly clear, 5 to 10 mile per hour winds, and again, gusts up to 20 miles per hour. Make sure you're checking for those loose limbs and branches when you set up your camp. We should always be doing it anyways, but you know, especially in the high winds, it'll knock it down quicker. Water's good for the most part. Make sure you're topping off at Hawk Mountain Shelter. And then Lance Creek is your last reliable water source before you climb Blood. Nail Gap, top off. Nail Gap to Hog Pen is dry, and Hog Pen Gap does have water. Great Smoky Mountains National Park, Kawohe Trail and Observation Tower are still closed due to icy conditions. Climbing the tower right now is not permitted. And then the ongoing bear closures, Twin Creeks Trail, campsites 18, 19, 55, 56, 57, and 82. All the shelters are open. Campsite warnings for bears, 71. And then Gatlinburg Trail, Cataract Falls Trail, and Cove Mountain Trail. Let's remember to leave no trace if we brought it in. Let's take it out with us and always properly store and dispose of all items. That's anywhere, not just in the Smokies. All right, Donald, I'm going to turn it over to you today for some other things going on out and about.
Sweet, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, good morning, guys. Let's start like this. So it is 6:21 on 11/5/2025. And if people do not know, the 11 is November. All right, man. So let's start like this. Connecticut rescue, Meriden, Connecticut. Crews responded to a rescue at a Meriden park on Tuesday afternoon. Firefighters were called to Jeffrida Park, located on Westfield Road, after a report of a lost hiker. Officials said someone got lost in the park right before noon. The individual was rescued by fire crews who walked them out of the woods. It is still unclear what happened or whether the person was hurt. There's no further info, so no one knows what was really up. I'm just glad they were able to find them. So, right. And they walked them out, so that's another good sign.
That's guys. Right. Nothing major.
Right, dude. Right. All right. And so we have a Vermont rescue, Stowe Mountain Rescue, rescued 2 young hikers on Sunday evening who have climbed Vermont's Mount Mansfield via the Hellbrook Trail. Though they reached the summit, they lacked essential equipment for the late season conditions. The men wore cotton hoodies and sweatpants, which are highly unsuitable for winter backcountry. Cotton, when wet, is definitely hypothermia risk type of clothing, man. So not just that, man, there's other things that can come with it. So loses, but that's one of the worst part. You don't want hypothermia, that's for sure. Okay, so loses its insulation and can freeze, putting wearers at risk of hypothermia. The trail had 6 to 8 inches of snow, making it 4 seasons. Hiking boots with micro spikes essential for maintaining footing on the ice and snow, and even carrying some snowshoes.
That's right.
People need to really pay attention to what's going on right now, because you can really get hurt out here in this weather. They were also without headlamps, a critical tool given November's short daylight hours. Stowe Mountain Rescue stated with proper clothing, footwear, and lighting, they likely would have avoided rescue. No further info, and that's not a guarantee either. It's a 50-50 chance.
Better chance.
Either it is or it isn't. So the way I look at it is, these cats, man, just because you have gear on your back does not mean you know how to use it, and you can still get in trouble. Right. And so we used to bring people out here. So we've been doing this for almost a decade. Next year, this 2026 will be 10 years of assisting hikers on trail, and we've seen it all. And people come out here and they won't even know how to put their stove together. Like, they don't know how to screw it on, turn the little switch, turn the knob to turn up the gas, and hit it with a lighter or flick it with the starter on
That's right.
on the stove or whatever stove a person has. They don't know how to use it, and that's how it used to be. It's a little bit better now, but you still have people coming out here totally unprepared, man. And so, anyways, man, this shit right here is just
super dangerous to start with because that's careless. It sounds like they didn't have anything at all that was needed. So
that's right, dude. That's
thankfully, they were taken.
Thankfully, SARS came in and took care of them. Thankfully, they were able to push off a text, man, to SARS, or they would have probably been in some trouble, man. You know what I mean? We've already had numerous deaths this year up in the Northeast, man. The father and daughter team up on Katahdin, man, that went up there, that just were totally unprepared in my eyes. I don't care if they had the essentials. Like I said, you can have all the gear you want, man. You got to know how to use it, though, and you got to know how to use it in bad weather. And so you're not just going to set up shop out in the middle of out on the tundra with just when you got snow coming down. You're going to go down into the tree line and try to find some cover, but you got to know that. People just don't know that stuff. So it's scary, man. But luckily, SARS is here to clean up the mess. So I'm just glad they got out of there.
I am too.
Holy
in the end,
shit,
that's
dude.
what's most
dangerous
important.
as hell, man.
Sure
It is, dude. And now we have a missing guy up in Oregon, okay, guys? I don't know if anyone's been reading the news or keeping up on it, man, but we've got a missing hunter up by Mount Hood. And so in Estacada, Oregon, search and rescue crews spent a fourth day in the Mount Hood National Forest looking for a hunter who has not returned home from his trip. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office said Devin Doback was hunting to the southeast of Estacada when he didn't return home as planned on Friday. After searching through the weekend, about 50 searches went out Monday to find Doback and bring him home. An Oregon National Guard helicopter also went up in the rainy conditions to help with the search, as well as drone operations and thermal imaging cameras. Search efforts are focused in the steep and difficult terrain that was burned in the 2020 wildfires, the sheriff's office said. The area is full of fallen trees, making navigation extremely challenging. Crews plan to continue searching into the night hours. Wow. And so, let's see. So this is who's involved in it. So Mountain Wave Emergency Communications, Portland Mountain Rescue, Pacific Northwest Search and Rescue, the 304th Rescue Squadron, Hood River Crag Rats, Marion County Sheriff's Office, Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, the U.S. Forest Service all joined in the search efforts. So, man, I hope they find this dude. I've been watching that for a few days, man. So. All right, and then I wanted to read about this hiker that was accused of attacking others on Wyoming trails. He's been released after a plea deal. And so a hiker that goes by the name of Cottonmouth and is accused of attacking others on Wyoming trails has been released from jail after making a plea deal. He threw a bottle at another hiker in Carbon County in July and reported bear spray standoff last year. So a long-distance hiker with the trail named Cottonmouth, accused of harassing and assaulting other hikers, has been released from a Wyoming jail after spending 86 days there after breaching the peace. Nicholas Cottonmouth Sampson, 36, was originally scheduled to go to trial in Rawlins Circuit Court on Thursday on 2 counts of breaching the peace. He was accused of harassing multiple hikers along the Continental Divide Trail in July as part of an ongoing pattern that also included an arrest in Sublette County the summer prior after a bear spray standoff with a hiking couple. On October 17th, Sampson pleaded no contest to one of the 2 breach of peace counts from this July. The Carbon County Attorney's Office dropped the other charge in line with a plea agreement between the state and defense. Under the agreement, Sampson was released from jail after serving 86 days while his prosecution was ongoing. His court fees were waived, the court file indicates. A phone number for Sampson was not listed. His mother, Karen Sampson, declined Monday to comment to Cowboy State Daily. For the hiker, she said in an earlier July interview that her son has mental health problems and she wishes the system could do more for him. When reports of Nicholas Sampson's trail outburst reach her home back in New Hampshire, the signal his urgent need for help, she said. Yeah, and I apologize for the hikers, and we are trying, and I get it, said Karen. Nice name. They're just out there to hike and have a good time, and this is a monkey wrench in their day. Family friend Brian Henderson said at the time that watching Samson struggle brings a sense of futility, since there are shortfalls in the mental health the state can impose, and Samson can only reach help if he seeks it. It's like watching someone drown and they can't do anything, said Henderson. There are people around who want to help a person, but the impossibility and frustration of it is heartbreaking. Sublette County Attorney Clayton Milenkovich put it in another way, saying, the state can lead any persons to help, yet if that person's not willing or capable of participating, there's no real way for them to be helped. We can't just keep them in an institution and force feed them meds for the rest of their lives. Right, dude? You know what I mean, man? Yeah, Milenkovich worried aloud if Nichols does not seek help and stick with it, he could run into even worse tragedy by driving another hiker to react to his attacks with a defensive force, man. And we've seen that out here with Stronghold and Sovereign. Dude, right. Sovereign killed Stronghold. This was an ongoing thing, man. Like Sovereign had been walking up the trail, and that year there were multiple posts online about this dude harassing hikers, man. And so they finally arrested him, brought Sovereign to jail. He got out. Someone went and picked him up, and I'm not going to discuss that part, but someone went and picked him up, put him on a bus. He took the bus up to where he thought these people would be Stronghold and the hikers that he had an interaction with, went back there and found them and killed one of them and tried to dice up the other 3 or 4. I think there were 4 there. One of the girls, he sliced up. She ended up walking out, man, and lost a bunch of blood, almost died. Stronghold did die at the scene, and then 2 others were able to hike out with the girl, man. So, man, just complete madness, man. And here we go again. You know what I mean? Every year we've got some psycho on trail. Anyways, man, a couple years back it was Pina Colada, which was, what was his real name? Ice Pick.
Yes.
And so we picked Ice Pick up after he got out of jail and brought him back to the airport. Mary brought him down there. He came right out and said, hey, man, because he said his name was Pina Colada, but then he was like, I'm Ice Pick. I'm the guy that was, posted online about. He told her everything. I think he told me too. I can't remember. But either way, Mary, I mean, he was all right in the car, but when he got a few drinks into him, dude was I guess he was a perv and just out of control, out of line, man. And, you know, I've been on both sides of the tracks in my life, man, and I've met people like him, dude. And so sometimes they just don't know any better. And I'm not justifying anything, but they just don't know any better, man. That's how they were brought up, man. They just have no manners and they don't know any better, man. So they just act out like that, especially when they drink. It brings out the worst in people. I can't stand people that drink, man. I stay away from it. I don't drink at all. So we don't drink. And so because I think it brings out the worst in people, man. It really does. But here we are again right here, man. We've got some dude that's out of control out on the Continental Divide, which has caused, through multiple years now, he's been causing issues, man. You know what I mean, dude? And he can't find any help.
And, you know, it's important to note where it was stated in there, unless the person wants and seeks help, there's nothing anybody can do. And unfortunately, sometimes, like with Sovereign, these incidences escalate until there is a death. And it's very unfortunate. So for us, we all need to be aware of our surroundings, separate ourselves from situations that make us uncomfortable, and do the best that we can to keep ourselves safe and keep others informed. Because Sovereign, even though he needed help and was not in his right mind, he had every right also to be out on the trail until, unfortunately, something happened where he had to be removed. And unfortunately, this time it was a death. So sometimes there's nothing anybody can do but be aware.
I think I read that Sovereign got some time in the mental institution is what he got. I believe. Don't mark my words on that. It's been a minute since I've actually...
He is locked up. I did look it up.
Oh, he's definitely... Wasn't it in a mental institution, though?
Right now I can't speak to that for sure, but, you know, I guess he was on medication. What I was reading stated he had actually apologized for his actions And, I don't really know his outcome or, his situation, but I believe that when people have certain problems, when they're medicated, they eventually, come back into reality, if you will. I don't know anything about those things. I'm just stating what I've seen myself with people.
Okay, and so I apologize,
No,
but
it's
his
okay.
name was James Jordan, and he actually he pleaded guilty. He was found not guilty by reason of insanity in April of 2021. So I believe he's in a mental institution.
I believe that is correct.
Yeah, and so he was found guilty, not guilty by reason of insanity for the murder of Ronald Sanchez Jr., which was Stronghold.
That's right.
That was a really messed up year, actually. Man. I remember it, dude. I remember them posting. He was up by Little Laurel Forks shelter, or Rectal Laurel Forks, and I remember him with his dog, and he had a machete. I think they were calling him Machete, actually, for a minute. Is what I feel like that was this. They were calling him that, dude. And there was multiple reports of this dude doing just weird shit, man. And so,
And this is a no-win situation because obviously
So
the
sad.
death is the worst part of it, but then you have another person that's mentally ill and not in his proper mind and seeking proper care because of his illness. So that's not a win situation either. Nobody wins on this, and
No one.
unfortunately, someone did die, and that's the worst part of the whole thing.
And it scarred the trail, man, too, dude. And that happened back in 19, if I remember correctly.
Yes, that was in
dude.
2019.
So definitely scarred the trail. And anyways, so yeah, that's what we have going on for today, guys. And then, did you have anything else you'd like to say?
No,
about?
I'm good, thank
Sweet,
you.
man. All right, and so today we have numerous schedulings. We have an Beeville to Atlanta Air, an NOC to Fontana, and a Fontana to Deep. So Mary will make her way to the Beeville Air, get them down to Atlanta Airport, and then make her way from Atlanta Air all the way back to NOC by like 4, isn't it, or something? 3 or 4.
3:30 at the moment.
Yeah, so she'll leave Beeville around 9, 8:30, 9, something like that.
8:30 is when I'm leaving here. Yes.
Okay, so she'll leave here. Leave Blairsville. What time are you picking up the rider?
I'm picking up the riders at 8:30.
Okay,
Yes,
so
that's what I
8:30.
mean here, Blairsville.
So she'll leave Blairsville at 8:30. Head down to the Atlanta Air. Probably arrive there around 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, maybe 11, maybe 10:30 to 11, depending on what's going on there. And then she'll turn around and make her way back to NOC, which is all of 3.5 hours, probably, maybe 4. But this is a good push, man.
Yes.
She'll make it, so 11, she'll make it there, right? She'll probably be there a little bit earlier. We like to add an hour in Atlanta. I don't care what time of day it is. We just add an hour, dude. And so, yeah, it used to be 2 hours. Now I call it 3, dude. So 2.5, 3. But you can get through there still in 2 hours, dude. It's just depends, man. So, but we like to make sure that we have all our bases covered, so we're not hustling in the end, saying, "Oh shit, I wish I would have added that extra hour." We just add it.
I'd rather have
back
too
in the
much
day,
time.
we used to not add it, and it would be pushing, really just pushing time, and it's dangerous when you do that. So we don't do that anymore. We haven't done that in years, but in the beginning, we did that. So anyways, definitely she'll work her way all the way up to NOC, pick up some riders there, get them up to Fontana, and we have a 7 p.m. at Fontana, which is going back to Deep Gap, and then she'll get to Deep Gap and sleep there for the night, and then get back up and head to Atlanta?
Yes, I'm heading right down to Atlanta for 7 a.m.
Okay, and then she'll head back to Atlanta, dude, for 7 a.m. And then where will you be going?
Well, we're getting that rider up to the northern terminus for the Pinhoti.
Oh, yes, that's right. Okay, so we are bringing them up to the Pinhoti. And then I have several schedulings today going on, man, for some Pinhoti stuff, some BMT stuff, and some AT stuff. We'll see what goes on, man. We had someone calling in yesterday that wanted to do from like the northern term in the Cohada up to
Westwick.
well, they're trying to do 15-mile days, but you can't do that out there and get picked up every day, man. It's kind of, you have to push through. And actually, I remember Who's our guy there that made that picture for us?
Oh, Emerald.
Emerald, dude. When we do people on the BMT, they usually have to hike through until the Ocoee. After they leave like Watson Gap or Dyer Gap area, they have to, because there's no real spots that you can get off. There's a few places, man, but it doesn't. You won't get a 15-mile day in.
Right.
And so I have to be split up in like 7, 12 or something like that. Anyways.
But we get that all figured out with what she's doing. So.
Yeah, and then she had to call some of her friends to make sure that was, cool with them. She's coming up to finish up a part that she didn't finish down here. So, and she used us years ago, I guess.
And we're doing some other schedulings with her. She has another day after that. They're not sure if they're doing 2 cars that day. They might be. And then something down here.
Yeah, she wants to do some AT.
Down to
oh, no,
Three
that's
Forks.
right, the Three Forks
So
to
she and I
Wilscar.
are going to be discussing more schedulings.
Sweet. All right. Well, actually, Mary will be taking care of that because they've already discussed it and have it all worked out. And that way there's no starting over or mistakes or me going, huh? What? But anyways, dude. So anyways, man, she took care of her yesterday, man. And then I was feeling kind of haggard yesterday. So I've been sick for like a day or two, man. So just doing my best to get ahead. So she took that call yesterday for me. But yesterday we did a Blairsville to Jack's Gap, a hog print to Neil. And then later in the evening we did a Neil to Amiclola. And we also went and grabbed some lobsters and mussels to kick back and enjoy some free time, man. Because it's much needed, man. Everyone needs some time to relax and enjoy each other's presence. So anyways, we did that yesterday, and then right after we received a call from a hiker at Neil Gap that needed to go back to Amiclola. So we went ahead and took care of them, and that's what we had going on yesterday.
Came home, got rested, revitalized, and recharged, and we're ready for another great day.
Tired. Yeah, dude, definitely, bro. Right.
I feel ready.
All right, kids. Did you have anything else you'd like to say?
No, I'm just going to say if anybody gets outside at night, check out that moon. It's going to be full. I think tomorrow it looks like a super moon. I'm not sure if it's going to be, but it was monstrous last night when I was leaving here. It was beautiful.
Oh, yeah, dude. Sweet.
So check it out.
Right on, guys. All right, if anyone needs anything at all, y'all give us a call and we'll do our best to assist you, man. One love. Peace. Thank you.